Africa and its leadership has been complex. Some leaders seem to have stayed for only a split moment, while other leaders remain in power for years and decades. Behaviors such as clinging on to power through ruling with an iron fist, upending laws, or altering constitution comprises some of the most used antics that the longest-serving African presidents have deployed to remain in power. That being said, here are the 6 longest-serving presidents in Africa. Number 6. Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea. 30 years in power. Once Eritrea's independence hero, Afwerki is known for emancipating Eritrea from Ethiopia 30 years after the civil war. As a result, he has served as the country's first president since 1993. Various political literature describe him as a totalitarian leader, as no succession talks have been had despite him being 77 years old. Number 5. King Mswati III, 37 years in power. King Mswati III of the Kingdom of Eswatini is regarded as the last monarchy in Africa. Eswatini has been ruled by Mswati III for 37 years. His regime began in 1986 when he was just 18 years old. Number 4. Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, 37 years in power. Museveni has been the Ugandan president since 1986. The Ugandan Supreme Court recently endorsed a ruling that banned the age ceiling of 75, allowing the 78-year-old to continue serving. His regime has been accused of abuses and weaponization of state resources to silence critics, with power and wealth accumulated in his inner circle. Data from the government and the UN indicates that 25% of Ugandans live below the poverty line, with 80% considered to likely live in poverty. Number 3. Denis Sassou Nguesso of Republic of the Congo, 38 years in power. His first regime was from 1979 to 1992. Known for his role as an opposing leader for 5 years during the Congo Civil War, his political and military understanding garnered him majority of the votes during election in 1997 and thus resumed control of the country after the Civil War. On the 27th of March 2015, he announced that his government would hold a referendum to change the constitution, allowing him to run for a 3rd consecutive term. In 2021, he was re-elected, and the new constitution allows the 78-year-old to run for another term in 2026. Number 2. Paul Biya of Cameroon, 41 years in power. Born in 1933, Biya's leadership has remained unchallenged since he got into power in 1982. He keeps a small circle of aides who he appoints and banishes from time to time, mostly members of his ethnic group that dominates his office. Speaking of his succession, he is considered taboo. He has been accused of torture and intimidation to retain power. Number 1. Teodoro Obiang of Equatorial Guinea, 44 years in power. The longest-serving African leader, he is known for his dictatorship ruling despite encountering accusations of voting irregularities from his opponent. In 2019, he extended his rule, citing that what you sow is what you reap. Closure of borders, harassment, and discrimination of opponents have been attributed to Obiang's 44-year rule.